So the only test I decided to go ahead and do is an MRI test. And I didn't really think I even really needed it because my condition was stable for so long. And MRI of the brain and stuff is usually only needed to find like a brain tumor or something. And if that didn't show up in like 10 years, there wasn't no brain tumor. So anyway, when your condition is stable for that long, you don't really need to get an MRI. But anyway, I just went ahead and got the test, just to do something, because the way it works is I guess you got to do at least some of the things the doctors ask you to do. So I just went ahead and did it, and I found that cheap place, which happened to be Capital Imaging LLC of Bethesda, and they could do a MRI for as low as $500, and this is even the MRI which includes a contrast injection. They give you a little injection to add something like a dye into your bloodstream, and then you get some different images with that as opposed to without the dye. Okay, so, and the lowest price I could find anywhere was $800, and this place Capital Imaging LLC of Bethesda was only $500. But then, of course, only after I had all the problems did I find out that this place only existed to facilitate multiple fraudulent schemes. They only have one MRI machine, and they don't have any other kind of testing. And so really, legitimate medical care, what I was coming in for, was really just like a side business. That's not where they make their money. Okay, so the owner, and in fact, this place, the individual I was talking to you about who defrauded those physicians and veterinarians, he's part of this group. I mean, this is just a small little group of con men, and he's part of this group. And what I found out is everyone who is in this group, from the well-credentialed doctor, neurosurgeon at the top to the lowest level, what looks like the typical female receptionist at the bottom, everyone is fully immersed in all their schemes. And so ultimately, when they commit their criminal offenses, violent crimes against me, they're all involved. It's not just one person. Okay. And so really, what they have going is the doctor at the top, his name is Dr. Jeff Jacobson. And he's a neurosurgeon who does back surgeries. So, and then they have another doctor who's a radiologist. His name is Dr. John Athos, and he sits in New York. So what happens is Dr. Jacobson sends his patients to essentially his own MRI facility, and Dr. Athos finds something wrong with the test, just so that they can do the surgery. Okay, and there's even a case, a malpractice case, where this patient suffered some severe injuries. Okay, and there's probably a lot more malpractice cases anyway from what he's done. So he's got that scheme going, and actually this person, the very same person who I talked about who was defrauding the physicians and veterinarians, he's also part of this group. And that person is not a medical person. And what he does for this group is he markets this bogus MRI test results to other surgeons who want to perform unnecessary surgeries. Okay, so he does that, and he also markets the services to these slip and fall lawyers. These lawyers, these things where someone says they went to some a small store and they slipped and fell and hurt their back or leg or whatever. Okay, and then there's really, okay, so that's what we call kind of the slip and fall cases. So there, and with the slip and fall cases, this MRI service basically provides some reports showing that the person was severely injured when they probably had no injuries at all. Okay, so that's the kind of frauds they run out of this place. And when I got there, and so I went for the test on February 15, 2013, which is now almost 3 years ago, and this thing is still ongoing. And so when I got there, everything just seemed normal, because that's the way they're conmen. They make everything seem normal. Okay, so and then when I was actually in for the test, the technician who does the test, of course, he's also one of the conmen. You know, they only have a handful of people, and they are all involved in all of their schemes. So, well, this guy's name is on his medical license. He's licensed not as a doctor, as a radiographer, and they're the people who administer these MRI tests usually. And on his state radiographer's license, his name is Antonio Macayong Papel. Okay, now that's a Filipino name. Okay, so Antonio Macayong Papel. You know, Antonio, last name is Papel, like the Spanish word for paper, P-A-P-E-L. Okay, P-A-P-E-L, just like the Spanish word for paper. But very interesting, on his driver's license and in any other kind of legal matter, his real first name is Manuel. Now, I guess some people can have more than one first name, but why does the state medical board allow someone? Because we know they're very corrupt. They're kind of in on all these things. So how is it someone who gets a license from the state medical board essentially have a fake first name where people cannot find out if he did something wrong in the past? Because his real first name is Manuel, and he's using the name Antonio on his state medical license. Anyway, so I think right now he's probably about 57 years old. Okay, and I had all kinds of hints about sex assault going on there. Okay, so really, now this is kind of how I'm trying to pull things back and figure out from what happened before and trying to combine the evidence. But even when I got there, it looks like there was already a pre-planned sex assault scheme going on there, involving me being the victim. Okay, so this is not one of their financial schemes, so they're doing something else. Okay, and so that information, I haven't released anywhere exactly what I saw and heard, that it looked like something may have been planned ahead of time. Okay, and who all may be involved. Okay, but anyway, one thing I knew for sure, that Mr. Papel, he was very nervous, and the nervousness, he's a con man, why should he be nervous? His nervousness was coming from sexual arousal. So he was very nervous from that, with that being the cause of his nervousness. Okay, then I also remembered that, I never, so what they did, I never knew that they made me unconscious. So I guess that, all his mannerisms told me that he committed a sexual assault, because later on I remembered he was very calm. So it seems that, he was sexually aroused at the beginning. He committed the sexual assault, not himself, with all those other people together. And after he completed it, obviously, the physiological response is he's very calm. So that's what I put together. But of course, you go in and out, and you think nothing happened, and right, you're trying to figure out how the heck did he do. So you're really seeing two different streams of evidence. The first stream you see is it looks like the guy did a sexual assault. But the second thing is you just can't figure out how, because you don't even know, because you don't remember any sexual contact, and you don't remember ever being unconscious, so you never imagined that a sexual assault took place. Okay, but what I found out later is when I got all the evidence, and because when I left the place, I left, after I got home, what I found out is I had some new symptoms. I had two little swellings under my eyes, and also I had occasional cold fingers and toes. So of course you think it's some kind of low-level malpractice.